This week's episode of Dororo was easily my favorite out of all the 12 episodes, and best of all, we still have another core going into the spring 2019 anime season. This episode, and really any episode of anime that can be so conflicting with, you're making a whole lot of logical sense here, an entire kingdom is at stake if one man lives, but on the other hand, on the morally righteous, you're like, why does he have to suffer? And this episode had every single major character come to the realization of what Hyakkimaru's life means in comparison to an entire kingdom, and I wasn't expecting that. I truly expected that this episode would go down the route of Hyakkimaru would kill his father, the son would then see, oh my god, this guy's an asshole, I'm going to rise up and try to kill him, and it'd be pretty typical. Sure, Dororo hasn't been typical up till now, but that seemed like what they were building up to. This episode, however, they immediately just abandoned ship. They said, alright, we're not going to really fight, we're going to get the hell out of here. And everything that was really tense about this episode was truly done through dialogue, which not many anime get right, and I really appreciate this. The fact that we have Tahu, who understands what Hyakkimaru is, that he is his brother, the fact that his parents sold their unborn child to demons, the fact that the mother and Tahu actually have a conversation, hell, the father joins in. The fact that every major player, including our main character, understands what this one man's life means. That is what I like to see. Not beating around the bush, not dragging out forced conflict. The fact that this is real conflict. The fact that we have a very logical son who came to the understanding that he doesn't want to hurt his brother. He thinks what's happened to his brother is absolutely ridiculous, it's evil and cruel. However, because he is a logical ruler, he understands that one man's life isn't worth an entire kingdom's. The fact that the mother is so upset with herself that she couldn't protect her son, but also understands that she can't. She can't just let an entire kingdom fall for one son, even one that she loves so much. But she won't let him go alone and tries to kill herself, which she probably did succeed, especially due to the fact that the statue did crack and it kind of seemed like the demons were a little more at peace after she did stab herself, or maybe she's just on deathbed, we'll have to wait and see. Hyakkimaru is definitely going to have a lot on his mind going forward, and I think this is really going to push him into maybe debating on whether he should kill demons or not, because he's seeing that his life is so much more than just regaining his humanity. It's that on top of regaining his humanity, he's going to make an entire kingdom suffer. I think this episode is going to be conflicting for some anime fans because they're going to say, well, we have our main character, he's righteous, the father's an asshole, and yeah, you're all right. But the issue is I really like the conversation near the beginning of the episode where we have the brother kind of talking to the parents, being like, listen, this is ridiculous, this is wrong, and the father throws some pretty stone-cold facts in his face. Yeah, maybe I do have selfish desires, but my desires are the will of the people, which is true. He's absolutely true. The leader is kind of the voice of the people, and his voice, as cruel as it is making an entire kingdom flourish. No longer is there war plaguing their village. No longer is there famine, drought. As cruel and horrible as this guy is, his death, his life, it means nothing. The current actions of the son is what matters. Hyakkimaru's life is the only thing that's important. If the father was to die tomorrow, it doesn't matter. The brother would be put in charge and he'd be a good leader, but we see that he would still try to kill Hyakkimaru. And I feel bad saying it, but that makes a whole lot of logical sense. Of course, we know it's continue for more episodes. We got another core left. But I like the idea of how conflicting it is that you have a father, as smug as he is, as horrible as he is, and how selfish he is. His actions have saved an entire kingdom. It doesn't really matter. We don't even have to really look at it as his actions. We can just say, a child who is kind of being fed to demons, that is what's saving a kingdom. So we can almost ignore the father until he's brought into the equation here. So the fact that the brother kind of came to the realization on his own that, unfortunately, your life isn't worth more than an entire kingdom, I like that, because up till now he's been shown to be a very logical person, a very logical ruler who would be a much better ruler for this kingdom than his father, as obviously he wouldn't try to make horrible deals. But I like the idea that he sees, unfortunately, the current state of war is if we let you live, if we let you regain your body, everything's going to go bad. It's not about my life, it's not about my parents' life, it's about this entire kingdom. There's a ton of innocent and good people here, and I think what's really conflicting is that Hyakkimaru is definitely going to be thinking about this. He's going to be concerned about what he does going forward. I don't think he'll stop his quest, but on top of it, he's going to realize that his actions of killing demons are actually hurting innocent people. Sure, it will hurt the people that he hates as well, but more people are definitely good in this kingdom than bad. And that's what I like about episodes like these, where you got the weight of the dialogue really throwing it in your face. And I think anyone who's been kind of on the fence saying like, well, did he really save a kingdom? Is it really all bad? Well, then the fact that his mother is also saying like, unfortunately, this is how it has to be, it really shows you. It's not that they agree with it. Not everyone agrees with it. In fact, only the father really agrees with it. The brother, the mother, they hate what has to happen. The mother more so because she loves this kid so much. However, this is what has to happen. And I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see where this story wants to go going forward now that the cards are all on the table. Most anime would drag out forced conflict, making people confused on why certain characters do this. Oh, why did you kill my father? Are you an evil character? Stupid shit like that. However, Dororo went the route of telling every single character, all the major characters, the parents, the brothers, hell, even Dororo, what happened, what caused for this kid to be so deformed and kind of being ripped apart in terms of his humanity. Everyone knows everything now, and they've all made their choices. The only choice we haven't seen yet is what Hyakkimaru will do going forward now that he has this information, and that's really impressive. Not many studios would go this direction, not many stories would go this direction, because people like the more cliche, oh, it's a hero fighting for the, to save the world. That's the story. Not many stories go the route of putting the antagonist, who would be this father, in a righteous situation that his entire kingdom is prospering because of his horrible and evil deeds. That's what I like about anime. That's what I like about stories in general, is when they make conflicting stories such as this that make you feel a whole wave of emotions and you don't want to pick a side. You want to sit back and say, if the kingdom falls, the kingdom falls. If the kingdom prospers, okay, that works too, because each side is technically right, but if you take a very logical stance, the kingdom is more important than our main character, and that's what's so tragic about it, as I love our main character. He's one of my favorite characters in this anime season. He's so complex, he's so unique, and you never get to see a character regain his humanity piece by piece in a situation such as this. I love this guy and I hope he can live for this entire season, but I don't know where the story wants to go, and that's exciting. I definitely think that it'll be interesting to see if the demons will take other sacrifices in comparison than just Hyakkimaru, or if that's just more like putting a band-aid for now if you do give other lies, but it won't actually fix the current issue at hand. That's going to be quite exciting. There was a lot going on in this episode. Of course, we got all that dialogue, but we also got the jailbreak scene, as we do have Dororo and new friend kind of being locked up, but of course escaping and then learning, oh shit, the parents are dead, but oh, at the end of the episode it seems like the parents aren't dead. So that was kind of interesting that they kind of gave us at least one peaceful resolution in this episode, that a kid who thought that his entire home and family were gone actually got to reunite with them at the end of the episode, which was quite nice. But there was a lot of really interesting mechanics during the action sequences. I actually thought the final action battle was probably one of the best choreographed fights we've seen. The camera work was amazing. There was a lot of weight to every sword clash, especially when you get close-ups like the brothers kind of looking face to face. But then you'll hear just people talk like, why isn't the barrier working? Why aren't the demons, protecting us? And it's because of what's going on with Hyakkimaru. And I think the more we see, the more we learn and more we grow with this, especially because our character can now talk. It's going to be very emotional. It's going to be a lot of weight to what's going to happen between the words and also just the sword clashes. Because honestly, you can ignore the father. You can ignore the parents in general. You can just focus on the kingdom. Do you want the kingdom to live, or do you want our main character to live? That's all that really matters, and I think that's what the story is going for, and I think that's why they make it so conflicting, is when you look at the father, you see a face of evil, but when you look at the kingdom, you see normal and genuine good people, and then when you see our main character, you see such a tragic story that you want to see have that fairy tale ending, but you know that this isn't a fairy tale. It's not a children's fairy tale where they made it a lot more peaceful than the original stories. It's that this is real life for them. This is a time of war where questionable things happen, where soldiers convince themselves what they are doing is fine because the leader is telling them, which is something that still happens to this very day across all the wars in modern day. People convince themselves they're doing the right thing, but really few people do the correct thing. And that's going to be very exciting to see where they're going to go. I thought the way the drums were beating in that final stretch there, it was just like they were building the tension and you didn't know how this should go. Should he lose his head? Or should the kingdom fall? We're already starting to see that this kingdom, they're going to run low on water soon. They're going to run low on a lot of things soon. So it's going to be cool to see where the second core is going to go, knowing that we have another 12 episodes to see where they truly want to go with this. If they want to completely screw this kingdom over to then maybe let him have a sacrifice, or where they want to go exactly. Maybe there's another kingdom that these people can go to that's better off. I don't know, but that's what's exciting, because this is a historical time period that's brutal. It's very realistic. It makes you feel that the weight of everything actually matters. It's not just like you can replace a leader and call it a day. It's that currently an entire kingdom rests on the shoulders of one demon baby, and you don't really know where it should go, and that's what's exciting. This was the best looking, the best sounding, the best directed, and the most emotional episode of Dororo, hands down. Anytime an anime can make me feel so conflicted, thinking, I hate to say it, but these leaders make sense. That one person's life isn't worth more than an entire kingdom's. But because this is Hyakkimaru's story, I'm thinking, but this guy has to live. He's such a good guy. He's a genuine guy. He suffered so much. Why make him suffer more? Where is that fairy tale ending? I don't know, and doubt I'll see it. And that's what I love about anime, especially because MAPPA is taking these classic stories and reinventing them for a modern audience, and I love them so much, and it's why they're my favorite current anime studio. I think the debate for this episode will be quite interesting because it really kind of shines a light on what's truly at stake in this series, so it'll be cool to see where everyone's thinking, where they fall. I mean, sure, everyone's gonna say, oh yeah, kill the father, but that's not really important. The important thing is what do you want? Do you want the kingdom to fall, or do you want our main character to fall? Or could there actually be a balance where both could succeed? I don't know, and that's what's exciting. I think too many people are gonna put the focus on the father, and that's not really the emphasis here. He's just kind of the face of the kingdom, but really his death, his life, it means nothing in comparison. What truly does is the fact that we have a kid who's grown up to be a pretty young adult who has such the weight of the world on his shoulders, not knowing what he should do, knowing that he basically holds the fate of life or death for an entire kingdom. And I think what people should really focus on is, should his life stay at the stake of an entire kingdom, or should the kingdom prosper and let our main character die? Obviously, we're not going to see it for right now because we do have another core, but it'll be interesting to see the more he regains, the worse off this kingdom is going to be, and just how the brother is going to evolve, because truthfully, I'm very impressed with this character. I think the brother is one of the strongest characters in this show. He's so logical, he has a heart, but he also can make the cold decisions when it counts, which is exactly what a ruler should do, where with the father, he was just cold, where with his brother, Tao, honestly, that's who you want leading the kingdom, but at the same time, even if he does lead the kingdom right now, he's still gonna hunt his brother, because unfortunately, that's what has to happen for the good of his people. And a good leader will make the decisions for the good of all his people, because the leader is the will of the people. Let me know what everyone thought of this week's episode of Dororo. The emotional voice acting, the emotional soundtrack, the emotional dialogue overall. What are you feeling, and where do you want to see this kingdom go into the second core? Do you want to see it fall? Do you want to see it rise? Do you want to see a side where both can survive? Whatever you're feeling, let me know down in the comment section below. And remember to leave a like if you did enjoy, and also hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. But until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.